Amazon is planning on building a second headquarters, and it's now being reported that they have received 238 proposals from cities and regions, largely throughout the United States, but also a few in Mexico and Canada, for them to build their new headquarters in their area. This is an enormous number of proposals, and so it's worth taking a look at why Amazon got so many proposals, the pros and cons of Amazon moving to your city, and the overall impact of this bidding war on the United States as a whole. So from a city's perspective, the biggest pro of Amazon coming to town is that it's offering 50,000 jobs, and these are all going to be pretty well-paying jobs, largely in software engineering. This is an enormous number of jobs, especially for many cities that have 500,000 people or less. So not only would a lot more people in this area be gainfully employed directly through Amazon, you would also see an enormous influx of cash from these people having much more spending funds and spending at other local businesses, likely helping to allow them to expand as well. However, while Amazon coming to town does offer a lot of jobs, it's not without its downsides as well. One of the biggest cons is a likely increase in housing costs. If you look at Seattle, you have seen that happen enormously, and while Amazon is not the only tech company located in the Seattle area, and it certainly can't be blamed for the entirety of Seattle's recent rent increases, it is definitely a big factor drawing people into the city and giving them the money to pay higher prices, and that puts a lot of strain on the lower income people who already live in a city and who do not necessarily have the skills to acquire a software engineering job at Amazon or other positions that pay well but require a college degree. It's very likely that many of the people who receive these new high-paying jobs from Amazon will not have been located in the city already, but will move there to take these new jobs. And that is an important factor to keep in mind, that these new jobs will not all be going to the residents who are currently located in that city. And while it's impossible ahead of time to tell the breakdown, it's very likely that a significant number of these jobs will end up being filled by outsiders moving into the city for them. The biggest problem, however, has to do with how this process works. In all of these proposals that have been submitted, all 238, there are numerous offers of tax benefits and other perks that the city would offer to Amazon and Amazon alone in order to encourage it to move to their city over somewhere else. And that's very problematic because Amazon is likely to take over a large chunk of the city, own numerous buildings, and Amazon and its workers will require government services. They'll drive on government roads. So if they're not putting in any new taxes, it's going to put a strain on the city. It also gives Amazon an even bigger advantage over small players and new entrants than it already has, as it will be operating with a significant tax break that other businesses will be unable to access. And this whole process has created a race to the bottom, whereby cities all across the country are competing with each other to offer Amazon a better and better deal. And if Amazon ends up getting a very sweet deal, it's only going to encourage other large companies to use this same process and try and squeeze cities for tax breaks before they establish new offices or headquarters. And the reality is that a company like Amazon can and would move to a new city and set up a new headquarters without any tax breaks. But it figures since it has the power and opportunity to score some of these tax breaks, it might as well go ahead and do it. On the whole, it seems like it would be beneficial for most cities to have Amazon set up a headquarters there, bringing in new jobs and money. So we can understand why local governments are submitting these proposals. But I think the process as a whole weakens the United States overall and gives Amazon an unfair advantage that smaller businesses will never have, and that this move will only encourage more of this exploitation by larger businesses moving forward. And we need the federal government to step in and place restrictions on how this process works going forward. But that's just my take. Let us know what you think about Amazon's bidding war and whether you think your city would benefit from having Amazon set up its second headquarters there, and what you think we can do to make the process more fair. And like and subscribe to learn more.